Our foundation's 45 years old and it looks solid and beautiful, and this house has never had gutters. So there's no reason to rush into getting gutters. Instead, we put down this mulch. The idea of the mulch is just to help stop the dirt from splashing up on the house. It'll keep the house cleaner. But the water is just going to disappear in there and you'll never have a problem with it. We chose wood mulch instead of stone mulch, and some people told us, use stone mulch, use stone mulch. Wood mulch does take maintenance each year, but stone mulch is actually very difficult to work with in certain areas. We didn't want stone here because we have a lot of trees overhead, and those trees drop a ton of leaves and debris, and that stuff breaks down into soil. It decomposes, gets inside the rocks, and you're going to start getting weeds growing up in the rocks, and it's a lot harder to weed stone than it is to weed mulch. The mulch will actually be easier to maintain over time than stone will be. So that's why we chose that. It's a cheap, quick, easy mulch solution that's going to last longer than stone, because the stone will basically just get swallowed into the earth and covered in weeds, and we don't want to deal with that. We did not put weed fabric down under our mulch. A lot of people told us, make sure you do weed fabric. This mulch actually tells you on the bag not to use a weed fabric. Now there's a couple of reasons why you don't really want to use a weed fabric under your mulch. One of them is just the fact that the mulch is the ground cover. That's what suppresses the weeds. You don't need a double weed suppressant. Also, without the weed cloth under there, it allows water and nutrients to flow into the soil unrestricted, and that's what we want. And another reason that we chose to skip the weed cloth is because it actually makes maintenance more difficult. A lot of people think that weed cloth will stop weeds from sprouting up in their mulch. But the fact is that just like stone, weeds can sprout up in and on top of your wood mulch. When those weed seeds get into your mulch and start growing, the roots grow down and grab into the weed cloth. When you want to weed those weeds, when you want to pull them out, now they're embedded into your weed cloth, grabbing on tight, trying to find something to hold into. And they're harder to pull out. You're pulling your weed cloth out, and it becomes a mess. If that weed cloth isn't there, it's only in the soil and you can pull the weeds out. And the other thing is, if you ever want to plant some plants in here or do some maintenance, rake it, shovel it, you got that weed cloth under there, you're going to be snagging it, breaking it, ripping it, and you're going to end up over the years with pieces of shredded plastic and garbage all in your ground. We don't want that. This is actually the recommended way to do it nowadays, is just to put mulch on the earth. It's always a good idea to get rid of the weeds and plants underneath if you can. We did rake it out, shovel it out, and then also we actually used some brown paper, regular brown craft paper, underneath the mulch. This is going to help to suppress some of the grasses and stuff that we left under there, but it also gave us a nice clean edge to follow while we were laying our mulch, just so we had a clean straight line. The paper is going to break down easily and quickly and go into the earth with no problem. So we just avoid the plastic weed cloths. They don't work and they make your job harder.